Now, I would like to call upon Raju ji, Raju Brahmandhabheri. He has speaking masters. Thing as a business where he teaches all the kids, children, and youth, how to succeed in life, how to be confident, teach a lot of learning skills. So, Raju ji is an Indian American community leader, motivational public speaker, founder, and lead public speaking coach for Speaking Masters LLC. He has been part of Toastmasters International, the platform to improve public speaking and leadership skills, since last 11 plus years and achieved the DTM, which is Distinguished Toastmasters Award, the highest educational award in the Toastmasters program, and won awards in various public speaking competitions. Public speaking and communication skills from Speaking Masters has been received 5-star ratings from both students and parents. He has both undergrad and master's degree in electrical engineering by profession. He is an electrical engineer, currently working as a senior manager at ITC Holdings Corp in Novi, Michigan. I would like to request all the parents, grandparents, and children, just listen to him and see how it can shape up your children's or grandchildren's future. And if somebody has any questions, you can always talk to him later on. And his standee is right in that food area. His stand is there. You can take a picture, and you can later on contact him and find out from him how you can communicate with him. Thank you so much, Raju ji, please.
Thank you, Vijay ji, for giving me this opportunity, as well as the PSNA members. I would request everyone just to get up for a minute, stretch your legs. I know everyone has been sitting, especially after lunch. Thank you. In the last 2 months, we all have been getting invitations for graduation parties, right? Maybe high school or college. I got the invitation too from one of the community members. Just like everyone does, they were displaying all their academic accomplishments, trophies, medals, certificates. I was very impressed. And I came to know that the boy who was graduating, going to one of the top universities, Ivy Leagues. I was very impressed. Then I went into the hall just like this. I was one of the audience. All the events that's happening, and there was a point where all the judges, all the guests were coming onto the stage to congratulate the boy and the parents. At one point of a time, there was an elderly couple who came onto the stage to wish the boy and congratulate the parents. The parents said, "Beta, take the blessings from the elders." The boy has no clue. The boy had that confusing look. What it is? Why should I do that? Should I do that? I could see different types of expressions going through his face. And he said, "No, thank you." It was an embarrassing moment for the boy, parents, and everyone for watching. Then so many questions came through my mind. Is this boy successful? How many of you think this boy is successful? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, he's successful. But is he a well-rounded person? No. He checked the big box for academic success. But isn't it enough? There are so many boxes that every one of the children and youth needs to check. Those are called soft skills. I think this boy has checked the box for academic success, but he forgot to check box for emotional and social. I always call ASE, academic, social, and emotional. So this boy, or the entire paradigm, did not check social or emotional. You might be wondering, Raju Brahmandhabheri is so judgmental. How can you judge a boy just being there for 1 hour? I was there for the entire 3 hours. He was not emotionally feeling connection with what's happening there. And he was not feeling good being socially there too. I don't know why he was doing that event. Maybe he's not interested in that at all. By checking all these things, so many things came to my mind, and those things are social skills. Those social skills and emotional skills. As you can see here, those are all called soft skills. So this evening or afternoon, I'm going to talk about 10 soft skills that every child and youth needs to acquire, implement to be successful in their life. Can anyone guess? I know I'm going to ask lots of questions. As Vijayji mentioned, I'm an engineer by profession, but I'm a teacher by passion. I am going to ask questions. What do you think the number one soft skill that our kids and children should have? Respect. What else?
Empathy.
Empathy. As Vaishali ji said. Okay, what else? Discipline. Someone said kindness. What else? Absolutely, those are all great answers. Character. Being street smart. Absolutely. In my opinion, the number one soft skill that every one of us should have is communication skills. Communication skills. Thank you, madam. Yes. The number one soft skill that our children and youth needs to possess and implement is communication skills. Many of us think communication skills is just talking. No. It's verbal skills, non-verbal skills, and most importantly, listening skills. Most of us doesn't even listen. I ask students a question, hey, what is your name, which school does you go? They answer the first question, they don't even answer the second question because our mind processes the first part of the question. Guess what? Not just the children. I'm a hiring manager. When I ask a two-part question, many people just end up answering first part of the question. For example, how do you describe leadership skills and give me an example of your leadership ability? They talk really good about what is leadership skill, but they forget the second part of the question because our brain is tuned to focus on the question rather than the response. So the number one communication issue is not listening and understanding, but to respond. So the number one soft skill our children and youth needs to possess and acquire and implement is communication skills. So that's why I have been teaching thousands of students the ability to clearly express and communicate. Do you think all the executives that we have good technical knowledge? They don't, but they can connect the dots very well. They can communicate clearly and concisely. Now leading to the second soft skill our youth and children possess is emotional intelligence. Probably the most important part. Earlier, every one of us used to be very proud of, oh, you know what, my son has an IQ of Einstein. Gone are the days. How many of you are hiring managers here at your corporate job or your business or organization? I see quite a few. The hiring process has changed. Hiring process has changed from IQ to EQ because they need to have a self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills. They need to acquire those skills. They need to implement the skills. IQ, it's easy to get because every one of our kids are smart. 99% of are smart, but the skill gap they have is with respect to EQ. When you combine IQ with EQ, no one can stop them because success, it is in their fore. The third soft skill that our children and kids needs to have is problem solving and critical thinking. When I say problem solving, don't think about coding. Don't think about some program. Think about solving a problem in their life. But you might say, you know what, they're children. How are they going to see the problem? That is where you, me, all of us come into the picture. Simulate some problems for them. That way they can see, oh, I have never experienced this problem. How should I see this problem? How should I think about this problem? How should I solve this? And what are my plans? Once they are able to solve and navigate around this problem, they can solve any problems. Guess what? The next generation is going to see so many challenges, so many distractions. My mom claims that, you know what, our generation has gone through a lot of challenges, but I disagree with her. This generation is the most toughest and challenging generation because there are so many distractions, so many challenges for the youth, so many challenges for the children that they have to face. That's why they need to know how to solve the problems, how to come up with the creativity, how to come up with a plan. That way they can move forward in these challenging times. Moving on, how do they do it? Can they work by themselves? Can they do it by alone? No. They need to collaborate. They need to communicate in a teamwork. As Vijayji mentioned, I teach skills, public speaking skills to the kids. And I given a homework that way they work together to implement 3 C's. Communication, coordination and collaboration. And I ask them to work in pairs. You know what the question I get? Mr. Raju, can I work with my friend? Can I work with this girl? Can I work with this boy? And some, they ask me, I don't want to work with the boy. I don't want to work with the girl. But does it work like that in a real world? You have to work with all types of people. Some people could be obnoxious too. Do you have a choice? No. That means at the very young age, they have to get ready to work with various types of people, and that is where they need to have collaboration and teamwork. And they need to resolve the conflicts too, because not every discussion will end in a positive note. People tend to disagree, people tend to bail off. That is when you have to understand, listen, and come on the common ground. So these are essential qualities to get a good handle on collaboration and then teamwork. Moving on, time management on our organization. Whenever I ask my students, hey, what happened to your assignment? It's late by 2 weeks. Mr. Raju, my dad put me on so many classes and I couldn't work on your assignment. Number one thing I ask the parents, I don't say anything to the kids because they were put on different classes for a reason. But the kids need to know how to manage the time. How many of you have more than 24 hours? None of us do, right? Every one of us same 24 hours. But the ability to manage your time effectively is the key or the mantra to the success. So that's why our next generation need to be good at time management and organization. Because they need to have the goal. But the goal itself is not alone. Goal with a time-specific goal. That way they know when to achieve it. And time management on organization is the most important part. But I know I've been telling our children and youth needs to possess these skills. But guess what? Who is going to teach all these skills? Someone, right? Who is that someone? I'm looking at someone. Someone is talking. Why? They don't learn from books. They don't learn from YouTube. They just model our behavior. Just for example, I was in India June last year. I try to follow ethics. I think, if you ask my wife, she would say something different. I try to follow rules, but on that day, I asked my driver to just give a cut shot. That way I can go to the mall nearby. My daughter was with me, 10-year-old, saying, Papa, don't you see there is a signboard saying, do not cross the divider there? I felt so embarrassed. What kind of person I am? What kind of role model I am to my child? Because they just don't learn. They just mimic our behavior. So I am talking to parents, grandparents, because you have a role. I'm glad there are not many children here, but the parents and grandparents are here because the change starts from us. They are just imitating us. They are just role modeling us. Moving on, leadership. How many of you want your children or grandchildren to be leaders, entrepreneurs, passionpreneurs? That way they can live on something that they strive for. Raise your hands. I don't want my daughter and son to work for someone. I don't want my son, daughter to work for 8 to 5 hours. I want my daughter and son to be a leader. Doesn't matter. A leader is someone who can connect with people, who can look up to something and give a value to the society. Every one of us want our kids and children to be a leader, but how do we get that? There are so many ways you can show them who exactly a leader looks like. Because when you show those leadership behaviors by yourself and show in the community, they just learn. They just learn how to be a leader and they are on the path to become leaders. Most important point, resilience and adaptability. Let me give an example. 1 month ago, we were conducting a public speaking competition and we announced the results. There was one girl, she was not my student, she was crying. After the event was over, I went to her, I think she was around 11, 12 years. She was crying. Beta, why are you crying? You know what? My mom is going to kill me. Why? I didn't win. I want my mom. She used these words. I want to win for my mom. I was devastated, heartbroken. That little tender heart wants to have her mom win. She doesn't want to win for herself. She wants her mom to win. Resilience. Do you think that girl is going to withstand with all the challenges and obstacles she is going to face? I'm sure her life is not going to be easy, just like us. But do you think she's going to be resilient with the way she's brought up? I don't think so. I had a long conversation with the parents and they agree. Because we all focus on end goal, success, but we don't appreciate the path leading to it. Parents, I request, focus on the efforts that leads to success. Success will automatically come when you appreciate, recognize, reward all the steps involved in going towards a success. So that's what it is. Resilience, adaptability. They have to be flexible. They have to persevere. It's not easy. I had to work very hard to go into the leadership role at my company because I'm an electrical engineer. I'm completely surrounded by Americans. I don't have any competitive advantage. I don't have good communication skills. I don't have leadership skills. But why would I settle for less? I left my parents when I was 21 year old. Why would I settle for less? I did not. I acquired the skills. That way I get the opportunity. It was not easy. I persevere. I adapt myself to fit into this. This is something that we have to inherit. We don't have to inherit the properties. We don't have to inherit anything to the kids. What we have to inherit is the ability to withstand all the challenges that they face in their life. Moving on, ethics and integrity. Probably this is where 90% of we as a parents fail. We just talk about others. We say, you know what, just keep the lines and go to the auntie. It's okay to return to Amazon because Amazon accepts returns. How many of you honestly feel we all do that? See, I'm raising the hand first. We do that. We accept or not, we all do that. But the question is, what kind of stage, what kind of model we are asking our parents to behave, right? We are not the role models. How you expect your son or daughter or grandparent child to have honesty, respect and accountability when we don't follow all those 3 key principles? Let's change. Let's create a modeling environment for them. That way we don't have to teach. They simply follow our behaviors. Cultural competence. I am so glad each one of us are talking about culture, Sanatana Dharma, heritage. But unfortunately, we don't have any young children here to listen to the wonderful discussions, wonderful learnings. Because culture and heritage is something that we are all made up of. The success and everything will come after, but we are what we are. The cultural competence is going to make us stand out. That's why India is shining. India is looked upon by the entire world because of one single thing, cultural heritage. The last one, but the most important one, digital literacy. Oh, you might be thinking, you know what, my son, who is just 3-year-old, is so good with iPad, so good with technology. But at the same time, we as a parents have to see how good it is. Is it controllable? Are they learning online behavior or online etiquette? Probably not. There are so many distractions lurking in the form of online technology. That is where we as a parents have to watch out. As I mentioned before, our parents do not have the challenge, but the current generation of parents have it. So you have additional layer to watch out for, to filter out for, and that's why digital literacy is such an important part. Sending your kids to coding classes, programming, it's good, but at the same time, you have to watch out for those evil behaviors that are lurking to show that negative side to your children. So that's why digital literacy is the last but the most important aspect to shield your kids from. So finally, 10, 10, 10.
So I talked about 5 plus 5, 10. That means I covered up everything, right? When you have all these 10 soft skills for our children, obviously they are going to be successful, right? This is what we do when we're successful. Woohoo! Guess what? The closing behind it has 10 mantras. So hopefully each one of you, if not started already, start implementing those 10 mantras to make our kids and youth successful. That way they can raise their hands in the air saying, I am successful. Once they are successful, you, me, and all of us are successful.
Thank you. Once again, Vijayji, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to talk to the parents and grandparents as well as BSNM members all over the country.